Now, the more complicated trade is the Eric Gordon trade. So this one is a little bit more complicated, and some of the value of it is a little bit kind of harder to grasp. But I'll try to do my best to explain it. So the Eric Gordon trade. So basically, Eric Gordon was traded to the Clippers. This was a three-team trade involving Memphis. What this deal did was Rockets sent Eric Gordon to the Clippers. The Grizzlies sent Danny Green to us, the Rockets, and the Clippers sent John Wall um, to us as well. So, and what ended up happening is that in this three-team deal, um, we also got a 2023 swap. So we didn't get a first-round pick outright. What we got was a swap, and the swap was attached to the Milwaukee pick. And so basically what this does is, so the Milwaukee pick, I think, is slotted right now 24th or something like that in this draft position, or around
the like 23rd, I think 23rd, 24th in that general area.
Yeah, something like that. And so what this swap does is it allows us to be able to look at how the Clippers do, and whichever one of them is worse, it allows you to be able to swap it out. Now, why is this significant? You guys have to think about why is that significant. So in next year's draft, let's say Milwaukee, I mean, we don't know. We know that they're a great team. Next year's draft is a very loaded draft, and there's a chance, given how talented the West has just become so much better. Obviously, KD is in Phoenix, Kyrie's in Dallas. You've seen LA's retooled. You've seen all these teams pretty much across the board have added little wrinkles here to improve themselves a little bit. And what that does is it makes the West kind of harder for teams to break away from each other right now. And if I I'm going to the standings right now on NBA.com. Right now, LA is currently sixth place in the West. So they are 31-27, right? And if they lost two right now, they're 8.5 out from the number one seed, which is Denver. But they're only 2.5 games out, 2 games out from the 9th seed, 3 games out from the 10th seed, which is where the Blazers are, and about 3.5 games out from being out the playoffs. So what that means is that what this swap allows us to do is basically, if Kawhi Leonard gets hurt and their luck just goes to the trash can, the Clippers technically, because of how competitive the West is, they could miss the playoffs. And if that happens, then they become a lottery team. And that then turns that Milwaukee pick into a swap that you could swap to the Clippers wherever they land on a lottery team. Now, there's also a chance that the Clippers just finish out 6th, but just by the fact that they are not as good as the Bucks, you've essentially expanded the range of the value of that pick. This is important for us because this summer is going to be very important in making trades to try to improve the roster. So even though you might not want to draft like a 15th or a 16th pick in next year's draft, but at least now when you trade that piece out to try to get like a Mikal Bridges, try to get another player that you like, when the team looks at it, they're like, oh, damn, this is a good pick. It's not just a 20-something pick for the Bucks. It could be, hell, it could be a 12th pick. It could be a 13th pick. But the thing is, this pick is also top 6 protected. So we didn't get an outright first round pick for Eric Gordon. We got a swap for Eric Gordon. So just think about it like that. So, and a way you could place a value on it, if you think about when you're in a real draft, like draft day, when teams want to move up 2 spots, 3 spots, what does it cost? Later first round picks. So I've seen trades where a team moves down like 3 or 4 spots and they got to give up 2 firsts to do so. Maybe if you're in the 23rd spot and you want to move up to 18, you might have to give that team in 18 a 29th pick and like a 26th pick in a future year to move up just a couple of spots to get the guy that you want. I mean, think about it. For Alperen Şengün, we gave up 2 first round picks to move up to 16 to grab him. So if you want to put a value on that, what we got for Eric Gordon having that range, it's almost indirectly like giving up we got a couple of like first round picks, because that's where that's how much you moved up even just by that swap alone and where the Clippers are positioned. So that's the swap aspect of it. The player side of it, with Danny Green, obviously we know that the NBA regards him as one of the best vets on the market. John Wall is not going to play here, so that's just forget about John Wall. But the Danny Green piece of it is, I'm hearing, I think Mark Berman or somebody had tweeted out saying that he's likely going to be bought out. Now, if they end up buying out Danny Green and John Wall gets waived, then I will be disappointed in that, because we still need a better locker room presence. And I think out of all the players that we got back, Danny was the best one that you kind of want to see as far as building culture. And I think it would have been important for them when they leave, when Eric Gordon is out the door, even though, we could say all the stuff we want about him. At the end of the day, he's a professional. I would love for Danny to be that guy that kind of helps these guys out, because he's been there, done that. He's a multi-champion. He's been on multiple rosters, good at bad and indifferent. He's seen all the types of stars and players and bench players and six men. He's been played under Pop, Nick Nurse, Vogel. He's been under a lot of great coaches, and he knows how to get it done. And I think that would have been something that we could have. I hope we keep. If it is something Danny requested, then obviously there's nothing you could do about that. But if it's something that Stone and the front office do just to like whatever, then to me it would just lend to my suspicions that they really don't understand the human side of basketball. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. I just pray that we do keep Danny Green, because to me, out of all this, he's the biggest prize. Because but that Eric Gordon swap is pretty. That raises the value on that Milwaukee pick, because it's now just not stuck at where Milwaukee is. Now we have it bracketed between wherever Milwaukee lands and wherever the Clippers are going to land. And with the West as tough as it is, there's no gimmies unless when you're playing Houston or San Antonio. So this team, like from 1 through damn near 13, damn near 12, it's a grind. Like, you got to go get it. And so that's actually a good trade for Eric Gordon, because I didn't think we were going to get nothing for him. So on that trade, I'm going to give that trade a B, because I'm not going to look at it in a vacuum. I'm going to look at it that they could have traded Eric Gordon like 2 years ago and probably got two real first round picks or just better stuff. But for where he was now this late in his career, to find the Clippers that they're desperate to try to make a splash, I think that getting that Milwaukee pick in hand is actually a great move for where they were, just if you look at it just for this year.